Ladies and gentlemen, I am being viciously attacked online by tens of hundreds of Europeans with insults, harassment, and hate speech against me and my father, the late President Idi Amin, simply because I wrote a public message of peace to Ukrainian President Zelensky in light of the recent African Leaders Peace Initiative visiting Ukraine. I would first like to inform these angry numbskulls that despite the disturbing amount of heinous harassment, mob lynching, white mob lynching mentality, and vulgar abuse, trying to censor me, to silence me, trying to prevent me from expressing my opinion and legitimate views on this issue, an issue basically to help bring peace and save countless lives of their own people. Our family has been suffering from 1,000 times worse lies, disinformation, and insults and hate speech against us by boisterous, self-defeating, racist, abusive, and unapologetic Europeans for decades now. So we are used to it. However, I would also like to inform them that I am not just making unthoughtful utterances at President Zelensky. For several years, I have worked as a United Nations volunteer specialist and in two peacekeeping missions promoting peace, freedom, democracy, and respect for human rights. And this, I have been doing this while saving lives of the most vulnerable people that you could find on this planet, including refugees and internally displaced persons, with malnourished children and carried by their impoverished, raped mothers. I've been working with the worst of the worst, and therefore I also have sufficient professional experience in conflict resolution and post-conflict nation building. What I am inquiring from President Zelensky is one of the basic tenets of all peace processes: the rights and sovereignty of civilians over their country and their communal destiny, especially since the civilians are the biggest victims of all conflict. In the public message to President Zelensky, I asked the Ukrainian leader a simple question on Twitter, and I think I will put the link to the actual Twitter post in the description if you want to join the debate. My question was as follows: if Russia gave back Crimea and eastern Ukraine to his government today, what guarantees, particularly what human rights guarantees, would he offer the people in those areas, given that they are already known to prefer Russia than Kiev? And this was already confirmed by a US government-funded poll in 2020, before the war, which found that around 70% preferred Russia. So are these legitimate grounds for these people to fear mass retribution at the hands of the Ukrainian government if the territories are returned to Ukraine? And why hasn't Zelensky offered any peace whatsoever for those people in his 10-point peace plan? He doesn't even mention anything. In fact, I was shocked to find out about that when I perused through the document. Now, while a sensible person would utilize this contribution to ensure that they adhere to these free advice that is underpinned by the Geneva Convention and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948. Instead, the anarchy and verbal barbarity that these simple questions have instead unleashed against me are themselves the disturbing answer to these questions, and indicate what the world should fear that is looming, that could be coming if anything if these territories are returned to Ukraine. The international community should remember the lessons of Bosnia and the lessons of Rwanda, and therefore not push civilians to their deaths by demanding the return of the annexed territories, at least not until a solid and viable solution is found, and then the international community can sit down and look at the issue in a very pragmatic way. Thank you.